Under this, we conducted many activities with them, many competitions, and we also awarded them. The idea behind this was to motivate them to take some action and to become aware about the importance of environment. Other than this, we also did one health convening on the World Health Day with Lung Care Foundation. We also did one virtual convening for Punjab and Ludhiana with experts from Punjab Pollution Control Board, municipality, and other authorities. We also drafted a letter which was sent to the Chief Minister, which demanded clean air, the right to clean air, by around 8,000 students all over Punjab. Other than this, ਇੱਕ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਣਾਈ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਔਰ ਯੰਗਸਟਰਸ ਨੇ 에ਅਰ ਪੋਲਿਊਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਖਾਸ ਕਰਕੇ 에ਅਰ ਕੁਆਲਿਟੀ ਦੀ ਕੀ ਇੰਪੋਰਟੈਂਸ ਹੈ ਔਰ ਉਹਦਾ ਕੀ ਇੰਪੈਕਟ ਹੈ ਸਾਡੀ ਹੈਲਥ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਉਹਦੀ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਉਸ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀਤੀ ਐਂਡ ਹਾਊ ਇਟ ਇੰਪੈਕਟਸ देयर ਫਿਊਚਰ ਐਂਡ ਦ ਫਿਊਚਰ ਜਨਰੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਇਹਦੀ ਵੀ ਗੱਲ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਬਾਖੂਬੀ ਨਿਭਾਈ ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਇਲਾਵਾ ਇੱਕ ਸਟੇਟਮੈਂਟ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸ਼ੂ ਕੀਤੀ ਬਾਈ ਇਕੋਸਿਕ ਐਂਡ ਕਲੀਨ 에ਅਰ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਪੋਲੀਟੀਕਲ ਪਾਰਟੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਅਰਜ ਕੀਤਾ ਇਹ ਸੁਨੇਹਾ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜਾ 에ਅਰ ਪੋਲਿਊਸ਼ਨ ਮੈਨੇਜਮੈਂਟ ਦਾ ਮੁੱਦਾ ਹੈ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਇਲੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਮੈਨੀਫੈਸਟੋਜ਼ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸ਼ਾਮਿਲ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਪਬਲਿਕ ਹੈਲਥ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਸੇਫਗਾਰਡ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਏ ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇਹਦੇ ਘਾਤਕ ਨਤੀਜੇ ਹੈ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ 에ਅਰ ਪੋਲਿਊਸ਼ਨ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਹਾਰਮਫੁਲ ਹੈ ਸਾਡੀ ਹੈਲਥ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਔਰ ਕਿੰਨੀਆਂ ਡੈਥਸ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਉਹ ਕੇਵਲ ਔਰ ਕੇਵਲ 에ਅਰ ਪੋਲਿਊਸ਼ਨ ਕਰਕੇ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਸੋ ਇਹ ਮੈਨੀਫੈਸਟੋ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਸ਼ਾਮਿਲ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ ਔਰ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਤਰਜੀਹ ਦੇਣ ਲਈ ਐਜ਼ ਕੰਪੇਅਰ ਟੂ ਬਾਕੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮੁੱਦੇ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇਲੈਕਸ਼ਨਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਮ ਕਰਕੇ ਲਏ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ 에ਅਰ ਪੋਲਿਊਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਵੀ ਸਰਕਾਰਾਂ ਦਾ ਧਿਆਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ ਲਿਆ ਜਾ ਸਕੇ Other than this, we also organized a talk show for children with the experts like Ruhi Kumar, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਕਲਾਈਮੇਟ ਕਮਿਊਨੀਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਸਟ੍ਰੈਟੇਜਿਸਟ ਨੇ ਔਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਲਾਈਮੇਟ ਚੇਂਜ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਔਰ 에ਅਰ ਪੋਲਿਊਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਸਾਂਝਾ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਨਸਟੈਂਟਲੀ ਸਕੂਲਸ ਕਾਲਜਸ ਔਰ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀਜ਼ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਰਾਬਤਾ ਬਣਾ ਕੇ ਰੱਖਿਆ ਹੋਇਆ ਔਰ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਕਿਸੇ ਨਾ ਕਿਸੇ ਸਕੂਲ ਜਾਂ ਕਾਲਜ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਕੋ ਕਲੱਬ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਸੋ ਸਾਡਾ ਟਾਰਗੇਟ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਆਲਰੇਡੀ ਇਨਵਾਇਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਧਿਆਨ ਇੱਧਰ ਲਿਆਇਆ ਜਾਏ ਤੇ ਨਾਲ ਨਵੇਂ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਔਰ ਟੀਚਰਸ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਫੈਕਲਟੀ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੋੜਿਆ ਜਾਏ ਸੋ ਇਹ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਇਲਾਵਾ ਰੇਡੀਓ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ FM ਸ਼ੋਜ਼ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਇੱਕ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮੇਨ ਪ੍ਰੋਮਿਨੈਂਟ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ that was on International Day of Clean Air for Blue Skies ਔਰ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਖਾਸ ਪੋਰਟਲ ਵੀ ਰਿਲੀਜ਼ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਤੇ ਪਟੀਸ਼ਨਸ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਫਾਈਲ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ ਗਈਆਂ to safeguard environment. We also organized a press conference at Chandigarh Press Club ਜਿਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਐਕਸਪਰਟਸ ਔਰ ਸਿਵਲ ਸੁਸਾਇਟੀ ਮੈਂਬਰਸ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੈ ਸਾਰੇ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਤੋਂ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਹੋਏ ਔਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਪ੍ਰੈਸ ਦੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਇਹ ਮੁੱਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈ 에ਅਰ ਪੋਲਿਊਸ਼ਨ ਦਾ ਇਹਦੀ ਡਿਟੇਲ ਡਿਸਕਸ਼ਨ ਕੀਤੀ ਔਰ ਉੱਥੇ ਹੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਰეკਮੈਂਡੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਉਹ ਪ੍ਰੈਜ਼ੈਂਟ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਨ ਅ ਵੈਰੀ ਬਰੀਫ ਫਾਰਮ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇਹ ਟਾਊਨ ਹਾਲ ਮੀਟਿੰਗ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੀਤੀ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੋ ਰეკਮੈਂਡੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਦਿੱਤੀਆਂ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਤੱਕ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਸਕਣ ਥਰੂ ਮੀਡੀਆ So these are some of the few activities that we have been conducting and we would like to continue further with Amritsar Chapter 2. So we at EcoSikh advocate that actions speak louder than words and actions like these go a long way to make the authorities take these appropriate actions for our health. Today, with the first virtual convening of Amritsar City Action Hub, we are delighted to spread our wings to the sacred city of Amritsar, a city so close to the heart of all the Punjabi community. Amritsar needs to be free of air pollution. It is the responsibility of the state governments, city administration, as well as its people to ensure that Amritsar should not earn the status or the distinction of a city with a very poor air quality. So EcoSikh hopes that the well-informed citizen-led groups will surely contribute to safeguard the health of the people of Amritsar, and we are certain that this group will be able to curb this menace of air pollution and bring about positive changes in times to come. We want to engage people through this hub to get their valuable inputs, give voice to their concerns, and arrive at effective solutions through building a well-coordinated plan for the city of Amritsar to make it pollution-free. We are hopeful that with the guidance of the worthy members that have joined today with us on the virtual mode, will be meeting us often in future and will be coordinating with us. And with all this support, we feel empowered. EcoSic and Clean Air Collective Punjab will be more powerful in giving this message across to the whole of the Punjab, to make people aware, to make the children, youngsters, elderly more into action-oriented ways in order to curb air pollution. So once again, we welcome all the members on board, and we are very much hopeful that today's first virtual convening will lead us to many more convenings in future with action. With these words, I thank you all for giving me time to interact with all the worthy members. Over to you, Sanam. Thank you.
Brikesh.
Yes, Sanam. Well, good morning and welcome everyone to the first convening of Amritsar Clean Air Action Hub. Now we'll be doing a round of introductions, but before I do that, I would like to just take a minute to tell you about what is the Clean Air Collective and why are we, why is there a need for Amritsar Clean Air Hub? So I think the population of Amritsar is 13 lakhs, if I'm not wrong, 1.3, almost 1.4 million. The air quality is definitely not, forget about WHO standards, it's nowhere clean even compared to the Indian standards. And we will hear more on that from Sarat and Tanushri, who are our experts. However, and because all these 1.3 million people breathe this polluted air throughout the year, they become the biggest stakeholders in terms of demanding clean air from our decision makers. However, their role in shaping policies or ensuring that once these policies are passed, ensuring that these policies are implemented in the strictest way possible, we are far from that. So that is our objective. We believe that such a complicated problem of air pollution and the serious impact that it has on our children's health, it cannot be solved if people work in their own silos. And citizens, as one of the biggest stakeholders, have to come together to make sure that we put the required pressure whenever necessary on the implementing agencies so that they deliver what they have promised. Like, अगर किसी कॉलोनी में या आपके घर में गंदा पानी नलके से आ रहा है तो 24 ज्यादा से ज्यादा 48 घंटे आप रुकोगे, उसके बाद में आप सब इकट्ठे होकर के म्युनिसिपैलिटी के या जल बोर्ड के ऑफिस के बाहर पहुंच जाओगे. लेकिन यही काम एयर पोल्यूशन के मामले में नहीं हो रहा है. हम लोग हर रोज, हर हफ्ते, सालों से यही पोल्यूटेड एयर ब्रीथ करते आ रहे हैं. एंड अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल डोंट इवन नो हाउ पोल्यूटेड और हाउ बैड इट इज बिकॉज you cannot see it. So our objective through Clean Air Punjab and especially through these city chapters is to try and bring the stakeholders together and fill the information and knowledge gap by bringing in experts like Sarat, Tanushri and other people as well, so that you are empowered and your agency is enabled, and then you can go and hold the urban local bodies, the municipality and your city authorities accountable, and you can demand what is your right granted by the constitution, which is right to clean air and better health. So I will move on now with a quick round of introductions. I will request everyone, because we now have to jump on to listening to Sarat about what is actually polluting Amritsar's air. So not more than 30 seconds, just your name and the organization that you represent. And by organization, I mean it doesn't have to be like an organization. You could be a president of a resident welfare association, or you could just be a concerned citizen. So just your name and where you are working or who you are representing. So I will start. My name is Brikesh, and I work with ASAR, and we convene the National Clean Air Collective as well as the state chapters as well. And I will pass it on to, we've heard from Supreet ji already, Simran. Simran ji, can you introduce yourself? Okay, Tanmay. Tanmay ji, can you introduce yourself? All right. Anyone else whose mic who can just unmute and start, and then you can pass it on to the next person.
Hi, my name is Sanam. I work with ASAR, and I lead on work on Punjab on clean air. I'll pass it to Gurpreet.
Hi, I'm Gurpreet. I'm working with EcoSick and currently associated with this project called Clean Air Punjab and working with the ASAR team also. I pass it on to Kiran Sandhu.
Hello, everyone. I hope I'm audible. My name is Kiran Sandhu, and I'm working in School of Planning in Guru Nanak Dev University, and I'm an associate professor there. And our school is working on areas of urban and regional planning, and directly or indirectly, pollution issues definitely are a part of it. Thank you.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Myself, Gopal Jari. I'm colleague of Madam Kiran, School of Planning, Guru Nanak Dev University. As already she told, we are working for urban regional planning. Even we have started a traffic transportation course here, and we are also dealing with this transport pollution created by traffic jams and this and that. So we are constantly in touch with such studies. So we really like to be part of the organization, and we work together in that way.
Lovely, great to hear from you, Gopalji. Would you like to pass it on to someone who hasn't spoken yet? Deepa ji, maybe.
Vikesh ji?
Yes, go ahead.
My name is Deepa Swani, and I'm the managing partner of a family-run firm in trading in celery seed. And currently, we are trying to promote sustainable farming amongst the farmers that we're dealing with. I'm also the president of the largest women's organization in Amritsar, Fulkari Women of Amritsar. And our organization is involved in many environmental projects, and we'd like to contribute in whatever way possible.
Anji, namaskar. I'm Nidhi Sandwani. So I'm the president of this Fulkari Can, which is a philanthropic wing of Fulkari. So it's the largest, as Deepa said, it's the largest organization in Amritsar who's working on different aspects. So it's very close to our heart to work on environment. And I think we'll appreciate if we can work on this air clean thing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nidhi ji. Who else is left? Simran ji, views on chat.
Yeah, I can speak now. Can everyone hear me?
Yes. Go ahead.
Yes. So my name is Simran. I am again a concerned citizen wanting to demand clean air. And I also am the co-founder of an online website which helps promote the knowledge gap on, policies and laws that normal people would find it tough to understand. So as a concerned citizen, I want to know how I can do my bit in filling that knowledge gap. Yeah, so thank you.
Thank you, Simran ji.
Amrita Rana.
Hi, this is Ravneet here from EcoSick, and I'm project manager from EcoSick from last 11 years. I'm very thankful to the entire Amritsar citizens that we worked earlier from 2012 to 2017 on Amritsar Foundation Day, and we also raised the issues like air pollution and the burning of Kuda and other issues of the serene city of Amritsar that was designed and founded by Guru Ramdas ji. And I'm sure with Asar, EcoSikh, and all the stakeholders from Amritsar will be able to make a good impact with this Clean Air Collective. I also have Jaspreet Singh, Secretary of EcoSikh Charitable Society. He's with me here.
Good morning to everyone. Good morning to everyone. Myself, Jaspreet Singh. I am Secretary of EcoSikh India, and I'm working in the field of waste oil recycling, in which we collect waste oil and we recycle so that our environment can be saved from the consequences of dumping of waste oil into the ground. So thanks a lot. And
thank you, Jaspreet ji. Amrita ji.
I am Dr. Amrita Rana, a doctor by profession, and I am a keen worker on environmental issues. So I am a member of Fulkari and Fulkari Chen. So I actually promote amongst all my people who interact with me to shun the use of plastic, to work for the environment, to reduce water wastage. We recycle all the wastewater that comes out of RO systems or otherwise. So, and also collect plastic and send it for recycling.
Thank you, Amrita ji.
I would like Indu ma'am to introduce herself, and after that, Gurdeep ji.
Hi, I am Indu Arora, and past secretary, Rotary Club Amritsar Civil Lines, past secretary, Rotary Club Amritsar Civil Lines, and incoming president of Voice of Amritsar, an NGO, tackling a clean, green, and healthy Amritsar. And we've been working on environment ever since 2011, ever since inception of Voice of Amritsar. So I'm very passionate about the city, and as Ravneet ji knows, that we've been working together, and we're trying to do our best for Amritsar and otherwise also Punjab. So let's hope this initiative takes off, and we see the results that with the input we put in. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Indu ji. Ranjit ji, I think you and Prabkirat ji are left.
हाँ जी मेरा नाम रणजीत सिंह है जी मैं म्युनिसिपल कारपोरेशन ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤਸਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈਲਥ ਡਿਪਾਰਟਮੈਂਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਐਜ਼ ਚੀਫ ਸੈਂਟਰ ਇੰਸਪੈਕਟਰ ਆਪਣਾ ਰੋਲ ਨਿਭਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਜੀ ਤੇ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਹੁਣ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਕਿ ਕਾਫੀ ਸੁਹਿਰਦ ਚਿੰਤਕ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ এনवायरमेंट ਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਇਸ ਟੀਮ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜੇ ਹੋਏ ਨੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ ਟੀਮ ਬਣ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਬਟ ਮੇਰੀ ਇੱਕ ਛੋਟੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਸੁਜੈਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਟੀਮ ਹੈ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤੇ ਟੀਮ ਦੀ ਇੱਕ ਗੈਟ ਟੂਗੇਦਰ ਮੀਟਿੰਗ ਹੋਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਵੀ ਆਸਪੈਕਟਸ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਸਾਰੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਵਿਊਜ਼ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਉਣ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਸਰ ਹੈਗੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਉਹ ਕੂੜੇ ਦੀ ਬਰਨਿੰਗ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਮੇਰਾ ਮੇਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਡਿਪਾਰਟਮੈਂਟ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਹੈਲਥ ਐਂਡ ਸੈਨੀਟੇਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ ਸੋ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮੇਜਰ ਪਾਰਟ ਆ এনवायरमेंट ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹਨੂੰ 에ਅਰ ਪੋਲਿਊਸ਼ਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪਾਰਟ ਬਣਦਾ ਪਿਆ ਉਹ ਕੂੜਾ ਵਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮੈਨੇਜ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸਹੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਕਈ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤਸਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮੇਨ ਪਾਰਟ ਜੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਹੀਏ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਮੇਨ ਰੋਲ ਅਦਾ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਵਾ ਪੋਲਿਊਟ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ 에ਅਰ ਨੂੰ ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਪ੍ਰੋਜੈਕਟ ਵੀ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਪ੍ਰੋਜੈਕਟ ਐਸਾ ਬਣੇ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕੋਆਰਡੀਨੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹਰ ਇੱਕ ਬੰਦੇ ਦੀ ਇੱਕ ਰਿਸਪੌਂਸਿਬਿਲਿਟੀ ਫਿਕਸ ਹੋਵੇ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਸ ਪ੍ਰੋਜੈਕਟ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਉਸ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟ ਨੂੰ ਅਚੀਵ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਕੰਮ ਕਰੀਏ ਸੋ ਇਹ ਮੇਰੀ ਸੁਜੈਸ਼ਨ ਆ ਛੋਟੀ ਜੀ ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਪ੍ਰੋਜੈਕਟ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਉਹ ਕਾਰਪੋਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਨੂੰ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਜਾਵੇ ਜਾਂ ਐਡਮਿਨਿਸਟ੍ਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਜੋ ਡੀਸੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇ ਕੰਮ ਹੋਣਗੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਜਾਵੇ ਜੋ ਕਾਰਪੋਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਨੂੰ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਜਾਵੇ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਟਾਰਗੇਟ ਈਜ਼ੀਲੀ ਸਟ੍ਰਿਕਟਲੀ ਅਚੀਵ ਕਰ ਸਕੀਏ ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਜੀ
Thank you, Jaspreet ji. Prabkirat ji, and then I think last Harveen, and after that we can move on to the next part of the agenda. Prabkirat ji.
I would like Gurdeep Singh ji also to introduce himself. मैं पहले भी बोला था.
Yeah. Can I speak now?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I am Gurdeep Singh Guglani. I am a retired executive from Bharat Heavy Electricals. And I spend my time mostly communicating on this Punjabi Wikipedia. I make articles for that. Many of the articles I have translated from English or otherwise I have created of my own. And out of these, propagating through this media, I chosen this EcoSeek projects and this environment projects also. And I have deep interest as a common citizen. And as you told, the normal citizens are the major stakeholders for this environment, because environment is a business of everybody, is concern of everybody. So my suggestion is that as all these participants are, most of them have formed some sort of civil society. If we make effort to partner, get more civil societies as partners, because in these religious societies, even normal civil societies which are there, not only those societies which are working for environment, those societies which are working for any other thing, to make them aware, because they have got a right to live in a clean air. So more and more participation should come from the more as religious societies and other civil societies which are formed for many other purposes can also play a big role in making the environment clean, because once they get aware, they will themselves be active in their own spheres.
Thank you, sir. Sorry to cut you off. We have at the closing of the session, we have time dedicated for some of the suggestions. So I just thought we could, if we can finish introduction, we can then invite our experts to speak. I think we just have Prabkirat ji and Harveen ji left. So quickly just name an organization and then we can move on.
So I'm Prabkirat. I'm a student and a volunteer at EcoSeek.
Thanks, Prabkirat. And Harveen?
Yeah, hello, I'm Harveen this side. I'm a concerned citizen, a part of the Fulkari group, and a bio-enzyme enthusiast.
Thank you. I am really sorry if someone's not introduced themselves. I would encourage you to please type in the chat window and introduce yourself. Now I'd like to move ahead with the next part of the agenda, where we have Mr. Sarath, who is the founder and director of Urban Emissions Info. And what I really love about his work is he demystifies data for citizens like us so that we can understand complicated data in a much more simpler way and then use that data as ammunition to try and run our own engagement and advocacy campaigns. So without wasting any much time, over to you, Sarath.
Hi, thank you. I will quickly go over what we know so far for Amritsar. This is Central Pollution Control Board, CPCB's website, where they post real-time air quality data from all their monitoring stations. And Amritsar has one station, and that is actually very close to in the middle of the city. You can see that the current PM2.5 concentrations are 61.5, and the 24-hour average is about 80 micrograms per meter cube. By WHO standards, that's 16 times more than that. By our own Indian standards, that's annual standard is 40, that's 2 times more than that. But more importantly, when you have only one station, that's the most important part that we have to take from this picture. There are 327 stations across the country, but in Amritsar, there's only one. And as Brikesh was saying in the introduction, we have 1.4 million people living in this city, around the city. And one station is not a representative point. I mean, we need much more than that. And you have, with this, we created an airshed for the city. I mean, this basically includes all the sources that could be contributing to the city's air quality and something, all the small cities surrounding it, which are feeding both economically and commercially to the city. So if we assume this is the airshed for Amritsar, how many stations do we really need to represent what we are seeing in the city? We need at least 17 monitoring stations running real time to show what is happening in the city. That would be a good representative sample that will stop us from raising questions like, oh, do we really know what's going on? No, that's the standard question that gets posted all the time. So it's really important that we put more effort into increasing the number of samples or stations that are there, collecting these samples. I mean, we do have the propagation of these low-cost sensors. Now in India, there are lots of them all over the place, and all the big cities are having it. But just notice that Amritsar doesn't even have these low-cost sensors. I'm not saying that put all your faith in these low-cost sensors, but at least increasing the number of information, the points of information that we can have in the city that will help us in understanding and telling the story much better. The next part is, okay, these monitoring stations will tell us how much is the pollution.
Sorry, can you just accept cookies? That's actually blocking some of the, yeah. Sorry.
There's nothing there, so it's just okay. So monitoring stations tell us how much is the pollution. The next task is to understand where is the pollution coming from. Okay, so we have a forecasting system that runs, and it basically gives us information for every district in the country. All this information is online. And this is for the next 4 days, where is the pollution? And again, this model is telling you where is the pollution. The next task is...
Recording in progress.
The next task is trying to understand how much is the pollution. Again, this is all modeling effort. I'm not saying that this is actually monitored or anything. What it tells you is, in Punjab, where is the pollution coming from? This is on a day-to-day basis. Eventually, one could use it for building annual stories. Again, so this is quickly telling us fires. There are still some fires around. The 15% of the pollution is coming from that. Then you have your transport, your road dust, power plants are still running a little bit. But more importantly, your domestic, this is the heating, cooking and heating. Your temperatures are dropping significantly these days, and that's basically increasing the need for heating, space heating. So those are the things that are basically popping up in the calculations. And you can see it for every day. Things change on a day-to-day basis. Things don't change so much. But if we end up going back in time series, you will end up seeing a lot more details. I mean, in the recent talk we had, in the recent media stories, we saw too much about fires. And there's a lot of information on fires also. So we can quickly go back and see which days were high fires, which day were low fires. So obviously there was one day which had very low fires. So we can immediately go back and look at these statistics as well. The point being, one, we need more monitors to tell us how much is the pollution, but we also need to put some effort into understanding where is the pollution coming from, so that we can build stories at both at the state level and also at the city level. The reason why I'm telling you a story about the state level as well, before I go back to cities, is the fact that, when we start looking at where is the pollution coming from, even in the city, from a model perspective, we notice that 50% of Amritsar's pollution comes from outside the city's airshed. It's mainly because a lot of activities that are happening outside the city that need to be addressed at the same time as addressing what is happening in the city. In the city, you have control over your vehicle movement. When you can reduce your motorcycle and car usage and move them to public transportation, you can control your industries, you can control your dust, you can control how much of waste burning that can happen in the city. But at the same time, you have to control what is happening outside the city as well. So outside the city, you have not only these fires, but you also have some unofficial sources. These are the points. These look like just pinpoints, but if you start zooming in, these are brick kilns. These are not far from the city airshed. They're very close to the city airshed. And then if you zoom out in Punjab, there are close to like 3,000 brick kilns. And right in the city, you don't have any, but right around the city, you have enough that are contributing, burning all kinds of things and contributing to your air pollution problem. So the idea is that, one, we have to increase our capacity in monitoring so that we know how much is the pollution. And we also need to increase our modeling capacity so that we can use it for these kind of policy discussions. So at the end of the day, it really is important to have decent numbers that can be justified and used for policy discussion. I'll just show you a couple of slides from Patna, the work that we have done for Patna. I mean, if we know, we have a good understanding of where is the pollution coming from, then we can use this laundry list of action plans that we have from all the cities and to see if everything is implemented, what kind of benefits do we get? Or if medium implementation happens, what kind of benefits do we get? Or just to keep it status quo, how much work, extra work that needs to be done. So these are all what-if scenarios. We really don't know whether everything will happen or not happen, but having good information in hand will really help us in building a story, not only to convince ourselves, but also to convince the authorities to do the right thing. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sarath. There's just one question which you can maybe answer on chat. That's from Ravneet. So how many monitors should we ideally have per square kilometer? I think that's also based on population density, but I think over to you. I think you can answer that.
Yeah, so I'll quickly answer. I mean, there is a thumb rule, generally speaking, but a continuous monitoring station is representative of a 2-kilometer radius. So the 2-kilometer radius translates to about 9 square kilometers. That's in a very ideal condition where you don't have any obstructions or anything. But if you have a lot of buildings, then the amount of area that represents slightly comes down. The number that I showed for city of Amritsar, we need 17 stations. It's more based on the urban to rural density in the city, population density, both at the gridded level, variations included, and land use. How much is under commercial, how much is under industrial. So we try to adjust for some of those things as well. And there's an ideal minimum number of samples we want. An ideal number would be every square kilometer, we want 1 station. So if the city is 300 square kilometers, we want 300 stations. As a scientist and a mathematician, I want as many points as possible. So,
thanks, Sarath. We are running a little behind time, so I'll quickly move on to the next session. But before that, I just want to run a 30-second exercise, and I'll need you guys to respond on chat. This is for each one of you. How many of you were aware that there is a clean air action plan for Amritsar, which was approved 1.5-2 years ago, and they also have a budget to spend for cleaner air? Just respond with yes or no if you were aware that there was a clean air action plan for Amritsar which was functional. There's the first no. Quickly, the faster you guys answer, the faster I can invite our next speaker. No, 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 yes, no. No, 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 oh my God, no, all right. Okay, the only yes is Sanam. Sanam, you don't count. All right, so the next I would like to invite is Tanushri. Tanushri works with CEEW, and she's been a regular face in most of our convenings in Punjab and other states that also we are doing. So what Tanushri has done with CEEW and Sarath as well is they've studied the Clean Air Action Plan of all the 122 cities in India, and based on the study, she'll be able to tell us according to that plan what is required to be done in Amritsar if we want to meet the target of 30% reduction by 2024. Over to you, Tanushri.
Thank you so much, Brikesh, and thank you, Team Asar, because they've given me the opportunity to take this really rigorous study that Sarath and CEEW had done a couple of years back to different states, to different stakeholders, and I can see that I have my task cut out today because a lot of us really don't know about the plan that was made for Amritsar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide my presentation into 2 parts. The first part being what exactly does the current policy framework for air quality management in the country look like? And then the second part, I have a few very pointed recommendations which I wanted to make. So I'll just take a quick minute to share my screen and run you all through what I have on my slides. All right then. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Awesome, cool. I'm going to quickly start presenting. Great. So a little about CW. I won't spend much time on this. I've already put my introduction in the chat box. We are a not-for-profit policy research institution, which is based out of New Delhi, and we work across different focus areas. And of course, air pollution is one of them. Okay. All right. So this is something which I think all of you should internalize, because this is the policy framework for air quality management in our country. So in 2019, the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change introduced a national framework for managing air quality across the most polluted cities in the country. Now, these most polluted cities in the country are referred to as non-attainment cities. So there are 9 non-attainment cities in Punjab as of today, and one of them, of course, is Amritsar. Now, a lot of you may want to understand how has a city actually been designated as non-attainment. So the Central Pollution Control Board, which is the chief pollution regulating agency in the country, it actually looked at particulate matter concentrations, not just particulate matter, but there are 6 criteria pollutants, as we call it. So NOx, SOx, PM2.5, PM10, CO. They looked at the concentration of these pollutants over the past 3 years, and they realized that there are certain cities which consistently violate the standards which are set in the country. And on the basis of this, they designated about 102 non-attainment cities. And this was in 2019. Since then, 20 more cities have been added to the list. So as of today, we have about 124 non-attainment cities, plus 8 million plus cities, which are also being very actively monitored in terms of their air quality. Now, as you can see on this slide, Punjab actually has the 4th highest number of non-attainment cities in the country. Of course, Maharashtra has 18, followed by Uttar Pradesh, which now has 17 because of the recent additions. And then there is Andhra Pradesh, and then there is Punjab, which is 9 non-attainment cities. And today, of course, the focus is on Amritsar, which is one of those 9 non-attainment cities. Now, just to give you a broadish overview of what Amritsar's action plan looked like Brikesh said, it was launched in 2019 and it was formulated by the Directorate of Environment and Climate Change. If we look at the split across the different actions, so as we all know, and Sarath has also presented, that locally, transport, dust, waste, domestic sources, construction dust, and industry and power plants. These are some of the sources which contribute locally. So if we look at just the city action plan, this is the split across the various activities. So as you can see, a major focus of the actions in the plan is on the transport related modes, right? And interestingly, if you see on this slide, as Sarath highlighted, that right now, there is a significant amount of emissions which are coming from domestic sources, which is cooking and heating. And especially now that the temperatures have gone down, people are also additionally relying on, biomass and firewood-like sources for their heating needs, which is resulting in increased sort of emissions from heating. But if you look at the plan, there is absolutely no focus on addressing this domestic source, which currently, particularly during the winter season, is actually causing to a lot of the city's pollution. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a brief second, and I'm going to just show you how the plan looks like. After my presentation, what I'll do is I'll also drop the link to access the plan, but just kind of, giving you an overview of how the plan is, how do you read it, which are some of the sections which are of particular interest to the different stakeholders which are present amidst us today. So I'm going to quickly take a minute to share my screen. Right. So this is basically Amritsar's action plan. So as you can see, they've opened it up with a lot of generic information on how the plan has to be read. So basically, can you guys see my screen? This is kind of important because this runs you through the various chapters. Can
yes,
someone
we
just
can.
say yes? Oh, awesome. Okay. So if you see, chapter 2 is about the vision, mission, and strategy of the plan. So this is what basically the creators of the plan had in mind while putting it together. So as you can see, these are some of the key strategies, which is identification of government stakeholders, non-governmental stakeholders, such as us present today for this meeting. Then how do we integrate different departmental plans, nodal departments, so which department will be accountable, citizen participation, how do we get citizens more involved, and then monitoring and governance, like what will be the governance structure for ensuring that these plans are actually being implemented. So the plan opens up with the basic tenets of actually, putting together and implementing the plan. As you go to the very end of the plan, at the very end of the plan, you will see that there are sector-specific strategies that need to be executed. I'll give you a quick glimpse of that as well. So as you can see here, one second. So yeah, this is also important because this talks about the constitution of the different committees which will be responsible for exam. And this is one chapter which I think would be of particular use to you, because as a community, if we want to get our voices heard, then we also need to understand the right audience. So chapter 13 of the plan is absolutely crucial if we want to understand what our audience is when we want to raise some of these concerns. And then if you're going to the very bottom, we'll see that there are, like right now, when we come to the annexures of the plan, we'll see what are the kind of sectoral activities which have been proposed. So there is an action plan for, let's say, vehicular emissions, and then it is followed up with action plan for construction emissions, road dust emissions, waste management, and so on. So the bottom line is that the city action plan basically provides a framework for the kind of activities which need to be implemented in order to ensure that Amritsar air is clean. Now I'll shift back to my presentation. Sorry for the back and forth. This is where we were talking about, the general split of actions across the different sectors. And like I just showed you, that the sector-specific actions are provided at the very end of the plan. And as per the actions which are in the current plan, a significant focus is on actually reducing emissions from the transportation mode. Now, what are some of the challenges in the plan? Now, the first thing that the most important thing that Sarath highlighted in his presentation actually is that a significant amount of pollution within the city of Amritsar is actually coming from outside. So if the city action plan only focuses on sources which are within the city's jurisdiction, then we are only solving for half of the problem. We are actually not looking at this 53% which is coming from outside, which could be anything, whether it's emissions from the brick kilns, whether it's emissions from crop fires, whether it's also emissions from power plants which are not outside the city. Therefore, in what the state of Punjab right now needs to do is have a regional strategy. Now, this regional strategy is very important for sources which can have the regional influence. What is the kind of technology which needs to be permitted in the brick kilns? Which are the power plants which need to be operated within the state? Which are the power plants which need to be decommissioned? What is the kind of fuel switch that needs to happen in the industries? These are some of the very crucial measures at the state level which need direct intervention from the state government. If we look at most of the local measures, they fall within the realm of the pollution control board and the municipal corporation, which I will come to in my next slide. Now, again, this is something that we are trying to do in Uttar Pradesh. Of course, we've started doing some amount of work and we're still trying to get government agencies involved into this activity. We actually have a spot check team consisting of 6 people. What we've asked the spot check team to do is go around the city and map out all the local sources. So while the idea should be to focus on having state level interventions for some of these sources which have a regional implication, there should also be extensive effort on clamping down some of these local sources. I'll tell you why. I was just having a chat with one of my colleagues earlier today, and he was telling me that, I was just waiting to get into the metro because right outside the metro station, there was so much of local burning that was happening that it was choking me up. So there are these local sources which sometimes don't really appear on the studies, the theoretical assessments which happen of air pollution. But when we talk about local exposure to pollution, these do matter a lot. And therefore, there is a need to periodically assess the distribution, the nature, the severity of these local sources. Now, the third thing, monitoring. We've talked about monitoring amply, but one thing that I want to focus on is monitoring in rural areas. And right now, if you look at the monitoring, particularly in Amritsar, we have only 2 manual monitoring stations and 1 real-time monitoring station. Of course, this particular area, slide gives you an overview of the state, where we see that 4 are in rural areas. Now, if you look at the next slide that I have here, this is a small experiment that we carried out in 2018. What we did is we deployed about 48 low-cost sensors in some of the high-burn districts of Punjab. And if you can see here on this slide, like in districts like Sangrur, the air quality is actually worse than the kind of air quality that we see in Delhi. But people don't really talk about it because there is not enough monitoring. So it is important to monitor in rural areas as much as we monitor in urban areas. And I was actually at a convening in Kanpur yesterday, and one of the gentlemen from a government agency said that pollution is an urban problem. Rural area में तो साफ हवा है, खुले मैदान है, तो वहाँ पे प्रदूषण होता नहीं है. But these sources like domestic emissions, sources like biomass burning, for agricultural residue burning, these actually do contribute to the kind of pollution we see in rural areas. Therefore, the focus should not only be in ramping up urban monitoring, but also ramping up, monitoring in the rural areas. Now, my final slide is about agriculture residue burning. This season particularly, and the seasons preceding this, we've talked amply about, how crop residue burning is becoming a challenge for the entire Indo-Gangetic plain. But when it comes to solutions, we've come at a standstill. Our go-to solution has been, increasing mechanization or penalizing farmers, but both have failed because both are effectively non-solutions. Now, this is where there is requirement for state intervention, there is requirement for local intervention, and there is also a case for actually transitioning to cleaner fuel in industries. Now, this is an assessment which we did back in 2019, and what we saw is that if biomass were to be used to power industries and power plants in Punjab, then it would actually make economic sense, because anyway, the delivered price of biomass in Punjab is lower than the delivered price of coal, of course, up to a certain distance. And this is an area of intervention where there is requirement for state support, there is requirement for local support. Like one of our recommendations was that why don't panchayats create a common land for storage of biomass? So there are solutions, but these solutions are not accounted for in the city action plan, and that's where the problem is. So the primary challenge of the city action plans right now is that they don't take into account the regional sources. They've not talked about the implementability and scalability of some of the solutions which are mentioned. And third, we don't really have enough data to understand what is the nature and severity of sources distributed across the city. And therefore, it's important that both the government agencies as well as us as citizens try to identify these issues and highlight it to the government. Thank you so much. With that, I'll end my presentation.
Thanks a lot, Tanushree. Okay, so next we have, I think, around 10-15 minutes for Q&A and suggestions. So please raise your hand, or you can type hand in the chat window as well over here, and then maybe we can get these. Tanushree and Sarath will be with us for the next 20-25 minutes. So if anybody has any questions to either of the panelists or speakers, feel free to raise your hand or type, and I will bring you up. Anyone else? Okay, Shweta.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, just wanted to ask you, like, whatever you have discussed so far, like how we all can contribute in this, like what step can we take? Am I audible to everyone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Should I respond to this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So thank you. I think that's a very important question. And this is precisely why I showed that whole local mapping slide. Now, Sarath, who is one of the best air quality modelers in our country today, will also agree that if you're looking at an emission inventory, if you're looking at a source apportionment study, which most government agencies today rely on to understand where the pollution is coming from, they are not able to capture all the episodic sources or seasonal sources which affect a city's air quality. Now, what the government has done is, under the NCAP, National Clean Air Program, for all states that they've launched a grievance redressal cell. So if you look at Punjab Pollution Control Board's website, and what I'll do is I'll just put the link in the chat box, they have a grievance redressal cell only for air pollution related complaints. Now, if we can effectively use this, and it's not easy to use this, I will also be upfront, because it's the moment you put your complaint, it's not guaranteed that you will get a response. But if you're persistent with your problem, you will get a response. And this is how you can actually identify some of the local sources. If you know that your neighbor is burning waste on a daily basis and he shouldn't, then you call it out. If there is a construction site which is supposed to, take precautionary measures like covering it with the green cover or using mist so that there is no loose dust around it, and the construction site is violating those norms, then please flag it off. So the grievance redressal cell is a very useful tool which we can actively use to communicate and identify and map out some of these local sources near us. That's point number one. Point number two is, if you remember during my presentation, we talked about chapter 13 of the Clean Air Plan, which has been presented. So as per the plan, there should be a 3-level review committee in the state. There has to be a state level review committee, there has to be a district level review committee, and then there has to be a city level review committee. I think just understanding that we have these points of contact we can reach out to if there is a major problem in our city is very important. Like, I know that we've been talking about these landfill sites, particularly the Punjab Clean Air Collective has very actively been talking about these landfill sites near Chandigarh. I think that if we can very categorically pinpoint this source, right to the district magistrate as a collective, right to the chairman or member secretary of the Punjab Pollution Control Board as a collective, that can also be a significant point of intervention. And other than this, of course, at our individual level, there is, we ensure that we segregate waste. I will definitely, so if there is a message from Earthly Instincts, I will definitely put those links in the chat box for sure. At a personal level, of course, there are measures that we can take, but I think as a collective, if we can use some of these tools to our advantage, then we can definitely contribute to this whole, agenda that we have against polluted air and air pollution.
Thanks, Tanushree. Just go ahead, Sarath.
I'll add to what Tanushree just said. So one is using of the redressal cell app or even place calling it in, helps us in identifying the sources. I mean, they sometimes also have the possibility of geotagging them, and then we can use that information to use it in our model. So I'm talking from a modeling and information perspective. Another thing that institutions can do is the monitoring side as well. So all of you can't buy a full-scale regulatory grade monitors, but if there are 10 organizations and 10 of you buy one sensor, and then put it up and put the data up online. So that will automatically increase the number of points we have for reference. So they're not really reference grade, but they will have some reference for us to bank on in increasing the representativeness of the city's air quality problem. So that's something that I think institutions can do, even like one at a time, it will help.
Thanks, Sarath. And that's, I think, a fantastic idea, which has been successfully used in other cities and as well, which over time we'll share some examples with on our WhatsApp. I mean, we'll be on the WhatsApp group as well. I just want to add to what Tanushree and Sarath said by breaking that down into 3 simple steps of what citizens can do. So one is protect yourself. Like you may have heard the airline announcement कि दूसरों की मदद करने से पहले अपना मास्क खुद पहने. So it's important to be aware how bad the air is, and on bad air days, how do you protect yourself and your family by reducing exposure, right? So if the air quality is 300 and 350 outside, your child should not be playing football for 90 minutes in the park. Number 2, reduce your as well as your neighborhood emissions, which is what the spot monitoring that Tanushree was talking about. So do not take steps like during peak winter, burning leaves or burning a tire to keep yourself warm outside. And if you see someone else doing that, you should stop that from happening and also raise it through regressive mechanisms. Number 3, which is why this group has been formed, is there is immense power in the collective when citizens come together, because they are the most powerful stakeholders. So the 3 would be holding the relevant agencies accountable by continuously asking them questions if they are not meeting their target of giving us clean air. Any more questions? Thanks, Tanushree, for sharing the links of all the resources that you were talking about.
I would like to add here that also when we wrote to CM about this air pollution and how we got a revert also on that. So when you just start doing the things, you always get a reply sooner or later. We just should make our input. We had received a reply from CM that yes, they'll be working on it.
Thanks, Gurpreet. Any more? Gurdeep ji has his hand up. Gurdeep ji, you have a question? You are on mute, sir, I think. Gurdeep ji?
Yeah, I made it on mute now.
Sir, I can hear you. Yeah, go ahead.
My question is rather it is there is more a suggestion that I think what we are lacking is that our government is doing something, some agencies are doing something, but making the people aware, because you have seen even this audience, which is much more aware about the air quality problems, even their audience does not know the plans of the government. So this is how the lack of awareness. So you can imagine the position of commoners. None of us are aware that how much air pollution or air quality can cause or play with our lives. So in order to make the people aware, whenever we form such a group, the first task will be to make the people aware. So how we can achieve this target, that's what is the biggest question.
Thank you, sir. Tanushree, you have your hand up.
Hi, actually, I wanted to show one thing which I missed out in my presentation, but I'll quickly show it to all of you, given that we are talking about the city action plan. I think the point that Gurdeep ji made is very pertinent, because even if you look at the plan, I'm going to share my screen for a brief second right now. If you look at this section 2.10 of Amritsar, this is Amritsar action plan, which talks about designing of a monitoring system. The first point here very clearly says that there will be an effective platform to disseminate air pollution related information, not just air pollution related information, but also seek citizen feedback and participation in the campaign. Now, in my knowledge, and please correct me if I'm wrong, because all of you are more actively engaged with the state of Punjab, this has not happened as yet. And I think as a collective, this could be one of our first steps to perhaps question the PPCB, perhaps question the Directorate of Environment and Science as to why this, which has very clearly been laid down in the plan, has not happened. So I just wanted to quickly respond to the point that Gurdeep ji made, because this really is something that we can do. And I know that UP, for instance, they've created a portal called the Uttar Pradesh Environmental Compliance Portal. It's not the best portal, but what it does is it takes the plans, it takes the micro action plans, which the state has formulated, and dumps it on that portal. Even if that could be a start to understand what the government is actually doing, like the transparency of information in terms of actions taken, any kind of impact that action has transpired into is very important. So I think this could be a good takeaway point, just to use that clause within the plan to have a conversation with the PPCB and ask when do they plan to, putting something like that together.
Thanks, Tanushree. That actually is a very nice segue into the next part of our discussion for the next 10 minutes, which is we were going to have a discussion on way forward. So that's a proposal that Tanushree has put forward, which is Gurdeep ji also asked. One is on the awareness front. As a Clean Air Collective, we will always try and create opportunities and create content that you can take to your community, to resident welfare associations, to schools. But there is also a mandate in the Clean Air Action Plan where government is supposed to, or the urban local bodies are supposed to spend money and create awareness and let citizens know, for example, how do they reduce their exposure. So one of the things could be that we come together to try and run a campaign or do some advocacy and raise questions with the city authorities on what happened on that particular point that Tanushree pointed out, that they were supposed to, I think it's almost been 2 years now, and I don't know, you are all Amritsar citizens. Have you heard on radio or seen in the newspaper or on television any awareness activity taken forward by the local authorities? If not, I think that's a question we can go ahead and ask. And I would welcome other people also to please share ideas and suggestions on what this group can do. Just one more thing I would like to add, which is on the way forward. So this is the first of many meetings, and I'm hoping that this group will grow strength to strength, and which is why the number of people invited were very limited, because our expectation is that people who are on the call today, they take on some amount of responsibility at their own individual or community level. And then collectively, we can try and plan some sort of activities, advocacy together. So the objective was not to fill the room with like 50 or 100 people, but to have a bunch of dedicated people who can come together from time to time. So there will be a follow-up convening as well, where we can do a little bit of a deep dive on the Amritsar's Clean Air Action Plan on what has been done so far. And we can identify some of the action areas, 2 or 3 action areas for the Amritsar Clean Air Action Hub. And then based on those 2 or 3 intervention points, we can plan some activities and campaigns. So that meeting is lined up for sure. And after that meeting, maybe we can also have an activity calendar of, if you want to maybe run a campaign on asking question on the awareness, or if you want to ask questions about monitors, what is happening, or transport is where they said that they're going to spend whatever 35% of the effort, the contribution from Amritsar is on transport. That could be another intervention point, but that will be discussed in another meeting later. This is the first meeting where we just wanted to bring everyone together and do a surface level introduction to the issue, to the problem, introduction to the plan, and then this group can move forward with some more detail and planning activities.
Brigeshji, please unmute Indu ma'am. There's a message in the chat box.
Okay, one second. No, so I have asked her to unmute. I can't unmute her. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
I can hear you, ma'am. Yeah, go ahead.
Anji, Ravneet ji, because we have actually, I'm a member of the Environment Committee, Amritsar, which the DC heads chairs, the DC, it's chaired by the DC. And we have Dr. Adarsh Pal Vij, in this thing, in our group also. So Adarsh Pal Vij, he's the chairman. And then member secretary office is engineer Krunesh Garg. So I was thinking if Deepa Swani and the entire Fulkari members permit, we can have a meeting with the mayor with the DC and all other, the chairman PPCB, all under one roof in Amritsar to get started on this. I mean, if we have the consent of everybody from Ludhiana as well as Amritsar, we can, chair a meeting. So, and we'll make sure that the Amritsar Improvement Trust chairman and the PWD and the MCA, all of them are under there, with us all together so that we can, work it out together. And we can plan a fixed date so that everybody is available. And I think this should help us also because we need to take the administration along with us. As a, we can say it's not people's participation entirely. It has to be the administration also. The traffic police, the commissioner police also can be invited, Sukhchand Singh ji. So we can have this under one roof and under Fulkari banner, if it's okay with everybody. Yeah. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes,
ma'am. Yes.
Induji, yes. That was fantastic suggestion. In fact, I got excited and my Punjabi is terrible, but I was writing a title for this meeting. I don't know if that works, but we'll be happy to help you with some specific pointed questions based on what was promised in the plan and what has not been done, so that you can have a fruitful meeting, not with the intention of just bashing them, but as concerned citizens, like what can we do and how do we move faster on this? So that's a great idea. And if people think that's something which they will be excited and would want to collaborate on, we could try and help you prepare the ground and background research for it.
Absolutely. Because I think the most polluted thing at the moment, the pollution in the air, is the autos. Because, there are many of them, I think majority of them, which are not licensed. So all these things can be put into the, and I've got a list of all the, pollution, the things which pollute the air. At the moment, I can't find my diary, but then we can have them all under this thing, head it all and work on that. And I can put it on this thing once I find my diary, right?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Induji. Gagnesh ji, you have your hand up.
Yes, good morning, everybody. I'm from Ludhiana. I joined late. Just want to give some suggestions to Amritsar people. To start up with what I'm doing in Ludhiana, I just tell you the same. The first thing is, as Sarat said, that we should look at the monitoring side. First, we need to know where is the monitoring station of Amritsar is there. Secondly, what are the readings? That is the most important because these readings are get managed to fill the CPCB data. Second, I must say that we should all download the action plan as told by Tanushri. Give a read because this action plan is not something novel which has given to us by Science and Technology Department. It was a fear of the slapping of 25 lakh fine from the NGT, which has forced this department to give us these action plans. And the last date was 30th of April of 2020. This action plans has to be fulfilled. But they are taking the excuse of COVID that they are running late of fulfilling these action plans. So now the citizen's role is to bring a catalyst into these action plans because this action plan has gone into the sleepy mode. There are air quality monitoring committee in every city, but they seldom hold a meeting. And some ma'am Indu, I think, maybe she told that she's in that committee. Ma'am, first you try to get all the minutes of meeting of that committee, which is being held all these years and all this, because it was the frequencies of the monthly meeting is to be held as per the action plan. But as the action meeting is not being held, you just collect the past minutes of meeting and just compare that how far this action plan has been moved since 2019. It will bring the accountability of these government officials. Then you can decide the strategy at the citizen level. Third important thing is, as Tanushri has told, the identification of non-government stakeholders. Non-government stakeholders till now never knew that this action plan exists, because only few people is having awareness of this action plans. First thing is to create the awareness among the people that this action plan is there and they have to fulfill this action plan till a certain date. So you can tell this action plans to your neighbors, to your family members, to your friends, to bring the awareness among the general public. Because as we have seen that in India in past few years, the awareness has created ripples in even changing of the laws also. Third, if anybody of you can use a right to information application, RTI Act, it can bring the accountability level to the next level. You can ask them where the installation of monitoring plans, where are the tenders, where is the manual sweeping machines, like that. Fourth, I must say that the grievance portal, you should start activating that grievance portal even if they don't reply. Just fill that grievance portal with number of complaints as much as you can. You can tell your friends, you can tell your families, anybody, you just go on filling that grievance portal, just increase the ratio of that complaints. And finally, I knew that you have one WhatsApp group. This WhatsApp group, the products are make it active and interactive on the both sides. Just don't make that just another WhatsApp group around the corner and using it when required. Just to do it on the regular basis, because this Pavan Guru Pani Pita is not just to read every day. It has to be worked upon. Finally, I must say that Amritsar is a holy city, and we have Atishbaji at the Golden Temple in nearly every Gurpurab, every occasions. But it started with the Diwali. And मैं पंजाबी विच दसना चाहना भी इंदे विच जदों गुरु हरगोबिंद जी 52 राजियां नूं लैके अपना वापस आए ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤਸਰ ਤੇ ਉਦੋਂ ਦੀਵਾਲੀ ਮਨਾਈ ਗਈ। ਉਹ ਅਮਾਵਸਿਆ ਦੀ ਰਾਤ ਸੀ ਤੇ ਅਮਾਵਸਿਆ ਦੀ ਰਾਤ ਤੇ ਨੈਚੁਰਲੀ ਹਨੇਰਾ ਹੋਣ ਕਰਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਦੀਪਮਾਲਾ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਰਸਤੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਲਾਈਟ ਤੇ ਰੋਸ਼ਨੀ ਹੋ ਜਾਏ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਤਿਸ਼ਬਾਜ਼ੀ ਦਾ ਕਿਤੇ ਵੀ ਜ਼ਿਕਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ, ਬਟ ਹੁਣ ਨਵੇਂ ਟ੍ਰੈਡੀਸ਼ਨਸ ਨਾਲ ਆਪਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਤੋੜ ਮਰੋੜ ਕਰਕੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਐਵਰੀ occasion, in every Gurpurab, in every holiday, we are firing crackers, which is a very dangerous thing for Amritsar. If your group can write a letter to the Shromani Gurdwara Prabandhak Committee to have overview of this man-made tradition, it can be effective. Maybe it can be effective. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you very much. Some fantastic suggestions, and I have also taken the liberty of offering your expertise to the Amritsar hub in case people are interested to learn more on how to effectively use RTI. Maybe we can organize one session where you can share your experiences of how you've used it and how the group in Amritsar can also use it. We can just take maybe one more question. I think Amrita ji, you had your hand up. You wanted to talk about waste?
Yeah, actually, I just wanted to add on to Indu's Chi's query about autos and all. So actually, I happen to be meeting some people from the transport department, and they informed that they are, within 2 years, probably, I'm not sure about the dating, but Amritsar under the Smart City plan has to take away all these autos, and they are going to be replaced by battery operated autos, and government has a plan to fund those, each one costing about 2 lakhs. So they will be take their autos, these autos, and give them those autos, and all 10 years old autos will be off the roads. That's just wanted to pass on the information.
Thank you, Amrita. But you know what? If it takes 2 years to take them off the road, I think it will be too late. It's high time we got started and take the administration along with us and try and make it put it in the manifesto of the elections of the politicians, right?
But I have seen, I actually interact with police officers right on the road about so many things which I see are going wrong. So I have seen these auto people, they have such a strong group
They have,
that,
yes. The union is very strong.
They really put so much pressure that police even have to bend to their pressures.
That is
so it is not an easy job. It's not an easy job.
That's where our administration goes wrong, because they bend, you know, because of vote bank. It's vote bank that they bend because of it, you know.
I have a suggestion here, and we can take this up in the next meeting when we are discussing more ideas in detail. But for example, if there is an auto union in Amritsar, maybe see, because they are driving and transport is one of the major sources. So they are also, maybe we can organize a lung function test for them and create awareness that they are the first people who are breathing in this polluted air, and maybe the demand can come from them. Like if they champion it, saying that we don't want to be contributing to Amritsar's air pollution, we want to be, you know, driving cleaner modes of transport because it helps their health as well. So that's one angle we can look at. We can get some doctors on board, and if it comes from them, then it will be a different story altogether.
And Dr. Amrita Rana is a doctor, so she can also put this forward, and we can all, you know, kind of participate in that. And
sure.
Yeah, Dr. Saab, we can meet up with CP, Commissioner Police, Sukhchand Singh, and just bring this to his notice, because, you know, the traffic also needs to be manned. The vehicular traffic is pretty bad in Amritsar. And all the, you know, all the vehicles which are off-road in Delhi or otherwise, they all come to Amritsar and pollute the air. And, you know, and emission is pretty, very, you know, carbon emission is very bad. And they are on the road in Amritsar. I think there's a lot to work on. And I think with a positive attitude, let's go ahead.
Let's get started. Right?
Yes,
Thank you. Thank
So
you.
I think let's all of us,
Yes.
let's all of us should start working on it, because it's the need of the hour. As seeing in Delhi, yes, we should start working on it. And yes, as a president of Fulkari, we will definitely take it forward. And so for that, we should all have the internal meeting now. Thank you, sir.
Nidhi ji. Last 4 minutes to go. Gagnesh ji, you have your hand up from before, or this is fresh? Gagnesh ji? Okay, if not, Supreet ji, I'd like to pass it on to you for a vote of thanks, and maybe we can close. We will come back to the group on WhatsApp on the follow-up meeting, where we can discuss some great ideas have come up and with very clear action points. So we can start acting on those in the upcoming meeting. Over to you, Supreet ji.
Yeah, Brigesh, thank you. So I feel that it's a great session that we have had today, with such a robust participation from our members, the selected group that we were interacting with. And of course, we are highly thankful to Sarth and Tanushree. They have shared a very important insight into the Amritsar City Hub and the plan that we need to follow. And I sincerely feel that the key to, like we were discussing the auto union thing and the RTI and the municipal committee and PPCB board, to rope them in our movement. So I really feel that the key to all these things is creating awareness. So if we are able to rope the auto unions or the municipality, that we are there for their help, and we are there to, work together for the betterment of the Amritsar city. Whether Gagnesh ji shared his views and his strategy to deal with the problem. So we are all concerned about it. Why we are doing is not to create a revolt against the government, but to cooperate with them and to help them out in solving in a better manner with the support of the people and the citizen activists. So the crux of today's meeting, I feel, is that, and I'm so happy and I'm so delighted to have on board in our Clean Air Collective Punjab and the Amritsar chapter members. And I feel that they are going to go far beyond expectations of Clean Air Collective Punjab, and we are very hopeful that we have taken a very important step, and it will go a long way in making the Amritsar city pollution free in times to come. And many more members will surely join our group and make it more powerful. Thank you, everyone, for taking out your valuable time to be with us and share your inputs. And we'll see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.